Okay, hello. Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Emerson and my pronouns are they, them. And in today's video, it's a live stream, obviously, but I turned off the chat and I'm just going to be basically like creating in real time for you. For me, for my sanity. You can hear it's a little bit windy outside. I just closed the window right next to me because there's traffic, but hopefully you can hear the beautiful chimes and stuff. And see what I'm doing here. But we're back. So, this is the setup. Sitting at my table in my studio, quote unquote studio, that is just in my like living room. It's like a craft room, craft area that me and my mom use. I don't know why I'm going into detail about that. Let's get on to slow stitching. So this is the basket that I keep like all of my current stuff that I'm using in it. So right now it's really just full of a lot of embroidery thread and little bits of fabric that I shoved in here so that I could work on this piece, because I like limiting myself a little bit in order to, get creativity going and not feel so. Sometimes when there's too many options, it's harder to work. So I give myself a little bit less options and work from there. And continuously remind myself that this doesn't have to look good. It doesn't have to look pretty in the end, even though it is looking really cool. It's all about the process and the journey. So let me trying to figure out the best angle, but we will figure it out. If you've seen my latest video that had slow stitching, I did bugs. This is the latest bug that I've done. It's a little beetle. Didn't finish the back yet, but I really do love him. I love the lace legs. And then kind of what we're doing today, we're doing this piece, but like the technique, it's not really even a technique. It's more of a mindset. The mindset that I'm going with is less thinking, more just putting fabric on top of fabric if it feels like it looks good. You know what I mean? If like it's pleasing to my eye, I'm just gonna do it. Sometimes I get extremely pressury I say. Sometimes I put a lot of pressure on myself, even when it comes to my art and creativity, because I always want to make something that could potentially be worthy of selling, or like could potentially be the best thing I ever make. But slow stitching has to remind me again that not everything is about the final product. Not everything has to be perfect. So what I do is just go crazy on some fabric. I just pick a base. It isn't much different from like my normal way of slow stitching, but to me it's like the way I do it is different, where I just kind of start putting fabric on top of fabric and sewing, because sometimes my brain is being too critical and nothing will look good. So I just say, here, don't look good. I purposefully try to make it like haphazardly, like kind of ugly, so that, yeah, to like to fight against that part of me that is like, make it perfect, make it beautiful, make it like satisfying. Because what I like to do, which there's nothing wrong with, is like more like these, where I kind of fit in the pieces. Like I love to just I'll find a piece that can go here and like a piece that can go here and just kind of build it up from there. Whereas this, I kind of just went for it, fully just started sewing little bits on top of other bits, not really thinking about how they look, kind of just doing it to make myself feel less anxious. And that's what I was working on this earlier because I wasn't feeling the greatest. Mentally, just my mind is always looking for things to think about, and sometimes, a lot of the times, it tends to go for things that upset me, and I have to just step back and be like, you don't have to think about things that are upsetting. You don't. So instead, I focus on just stitching, which it really is just such a nice, therapeutic, kind of meditative thing. Even if you don't make it that, even if you don't put all the mindfulness into each stitch or like really focus, even if you do it haphazardly just to get out of your anxious mind, any way that you slow stitch is valid, you know? Anyway, that's why, like, I tend to do things that look a little bit too, like, nice, like, neat, I guess. And this is to remind me that it doesn't have to look neat or nice, but in the end, because it's just cool fabric and cool colors and textures, I'm gonna love it. And I do. I mean, it's ugly. It's like not that cool, but also the colors are cool and I just love the orange and the textures, the combination of all of it is just beautiful. Slow stitching, man. You can do it any way, and I don't think I've ever seen any slow stitching by anyone that I've been like, ew, that's hideous. Like, yeah. So, I feel like there's major lag on this. I appreciate you a ton if you watch this video. If you watch any of my videos, you're pretty cool. Because, I don't know. I love to create, and I just want to keep putting myself out there more and more with my art and what I do. Because the anxiety tries to stop me. But, I don't know, but I just realized that I had a loose needle on this table, and there it is. Oh my gosh, thank you. We found it. So, I'm just going to work from this. I'm going to work from this, obviously. This is my little basket that I put all of my things in. I brought a bunch of different colorful fabric and a couple, like, duller, more muted colors, I guess. I don't know. I can't pick one. Let's just, like, pick one. Okay. It's going to be this one. This multicolored one is the choice that we're going with. Bing. And I like to, that's pretty good. When I first started slow stitching, I was like, I always use 6 strands because I just loved it to look super chunky and, yeah, I don't know, but I love using just 3 strands these days because it still looks very big. Like, you can still see it, it's a big element, but it's not as, like, thick, and it's much easier to sew when there's not as many strands. So, I don't know, 3 has been my go-to. Now I gotta thread this needle. Also, in doing like a live stream as opposed to a video, I can't edit, so it's not as like, I don't know, I just have to take my time, go with the flow. I don't have to fill every second with talking. So here's a little green piece, and I'm just going to sew it onto here. Hopefully you can see that. Wow, do you hear that wind? Dang, look, it's getting dark. I don't mind. It's like a nice little... It was nice out earlier, but a beautiful afternoon. Then it like downpoured for a little while. And now it sounds like it could possibly storm. But I can definitely feel a cold front coming in. The cold front is coming in. I'm not sure if this is like the best angle. Maybe if I do this. Oh, yes. My go-to when I slow stitch is to just outline the piece, because I guess I'm just mostly thinking about like it being sturdy on there, which isn't necessary, but that's what my go-to is. I just outline the piece of fabric so that it's secured onto the bigger piece of fabric. Yeah, I definitely feel like there's a lag, and I apologize. That's terrible. But what can you do? I tried to do a live stream earlier. I tried like 3-4 times, and YouTube would just crash every time, and then finally I got through, and my phone, it lasted like 20 minutes, and it was me like frantically rambling because I felt like I had to say so much. And it didn't last long, but here we are again. And yeah, we're just gonna go until like my phone gives up. Till my phone dies, or my mom comes home, or I just am done slow stitching. And of course, feel free, if you're watching me now, or if you're watching the video later on, feel free to stitch along with me, or do any other creative thing. Do you see this gnat flying around? I caught it and then I let it go. I caught it too gently and then it flew back away. This is just some new diagonal thing I started to do. I did this like ray. Looks like a rays like a sun. And now I'm doing it again. You just like find out what you like about slow stitching and like how you like to do things as you go. There's simply no other way. And even if you don't like it, you've made something in the end. Like, look at those colors. So I think I'll end it there because there's not... Well, I can fill this little section in right there. What do we have? We have like a strip. Here we go. No, that's too thick. Here we go. Purple. Introduce a whole new color? Why not? Actually, I might put it this way. Bam. And then we already have this going. it's kind of far away, so I'm just threading it through the other stitches in the back to bring it closer. I don't know if that's like a thing, but that's just like, that's what I do. Again, I'm an anxious human, so my first thought is like, how can I keep this from ever breaking? Oh my god. Which is funny because it's like frayed, so there's no guarantee it will stay together anyway. Sometimes I do individual stitches like this, and then sometimes I'm gonna do it like this, which takes away a step, but it decreases like my accuracy. Bam! That looks pretty. Ooh, I just had a thought. We're just gonna randomly come up here and I've got well, these are massive, so I'll just get rid of these. But oh, and these are just like little tiny scraps. We could use those. But the goal was to get out some buttons and beads. There's still more. Here we go. Because I really wanted to use this little one. Hopefully you can see those. I think we'll go with... Should we just do the happy face? Because that's crazy. Yeah. The happy face. Oh, yes. I feel like now that it's spring, summertime, I'm much more drawn to the bright. I mean, I love bright colors all the time, but much more drawn to the bright colors within my art now. So I guess because it feels fitting. And I'm not as depressed. And I'm doing a bunch of loops. Stitches, that's the word. Cool. I love how it looks in the back. And that's how it's looking in the front. I won't use that one. I'm gonna have to figure out the wobbliness every time I like hit the table. It moves the camera, the tripod, but get there. We'll figure it out. So learning as we go. So I think we're just gonna stick this one right here. Cut it right where that dark mark is right there, that line. And then, oh, it comes out like this. And what color are we going to do? You know what? I probably just need one. What color thread? I've got a lot of choices. The blue, that brings in almost a new color though. I do like the dark brown. Maybe I'll just start with the dark brown and go from there. Oh, that's really short. Maybe I'll do choices. Oh yeah, I'll do that. I'll do this green. Green. We're at the 20-minute mark. So far, so good. Except for that it's wobbling as I move. Hopefully it won't look terrible in the video. There we go. I'm just threading that. The wind is picking up again, which is nice. It's nice. I love like a beautiful day and then like a stormy afternoon. It hasn't really stormed, but it is cloudy and windy and getting darker by the moment. Let's fix this a little. I'd rather them overlap a little bit and then just add more than try to fit them like all in. And what I like to do when it's just like a satisfaction thing. It's just like it looks visually nice. When I have like a fabric with a pattern or like, yeah, like the lines, I like to go by the lines. What am I trying to say? The grid, the plaid. Somebody said something outside and I got distracted. The first one's not that good. I mean, they kind of look bad, but that's fine. I'm not that concerned. Then maybe I'll go in with another color going in the other way. Let's untangle the thread a little. This one's also 2 strands because as I was getting it, I just pulled apart. I don't know, it kind of came apart that way, so I was like, okay, I did it for me, thanks. Again, if you're watching this, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I'm just trying to share my art, share my creative life, because it's the only way I know how to live. And I don't know. I enjoy making YouTube videos, obviously, or I wouldn't be doing it. but it is great to see the growth. I've gotten a lot of new subscribers. So, hi, if you're new, huh? Thank you. Thanks for being here. I'm a little weird, but I was gonna say, aren't we all? But unfortunately, not everyone is. Thank you for being here. Thank you for your support. I've been doing YouTube for a while, very inconsistently, and it feels nice that like it's happening. Like I'm getting something somewhere, and a lot of it too is myself being more involved in like the creative community on here, just like commenting on videos I watch more often because I watch so many videos. Why not? Like, because the anxiety makes it hard for me to just do that, but I've been feeling good and growing. You know how it is. So I kind of like it, but I kind of don't like it. I don't like how like loose the stitches are. I'm just gonna, I think, go like do this, like just sew this on. So yeah, something that I like to do when I'm not like sure of how it looks, instead of taking it apart, which I'm not against, I will do that if I really don't like it. If I'm trying to execute something a certain way and I don't like it. But if I'm just adding an element and at the end of putting it on I don't like it, I either just change it somehow or add more on top. Slow stitching, and the people who make the videos about slow stitching, it all just reminds me to like slow down, and that it's not all about making things that look amazing, that are worthy of selling, or that are everyone's cup of tea. Because, I mean, art is subjective, but also art's not just for consumption, it's for, we make it for us. We make it because we need to. I mean, I know that's how I feel. What would I do if I couldn't make art in any type of a way? There's so many different ways, and I like a lot of them, but I can also never pick one. I never would be able to just pick one and stick to that because I love so many different things. My main two things being like textile art, sewing and all that, and illustration, drawing, painting, but not really in like a professional way, more in just like I don't or like not necessarily professional, more a fine art way. I don't think you need to go to school to be an artist. You don't need to go to school. Like anyone can be an artist. If you make art, you can call yourself an artist. That's what I think. Obviously, it's good to know how to do things correctly, and if you do want to do it in a fine art way, then that's great. I think just for myself, I have to loosen up about it because the art I want to make it's more about self-expression than it is about self-expression and like getting a feeling across than it is trying to make something look super realistic or I don't know, like yeah, professional. Which any way that you make art, however you want to do it, is totally fine. I'm just talking about myself personally. So, there's that. It kind of looks like a bug now, so that's nice. Still not a big fan, but I think I'm just gonna add like yellow. Here we go. There's a piece already ready to go. I love having this tray because, oh my gosh, my phone's already at low power. So we're not going to last too much longer, but that's okay because this has been really, really nice. And I'm just going to continue working on this piece. You know, my hope, my goal perhaps is to, or one of them, with my YouTube, I mean, okay, I'm getting ahead of myself. I'm getting ahead of myself in my brain. One of my things that I want to do with YouTube is get to where I do live stream, where I can live stream weekly or something like that. But right now, it's going to be just like a little more spontaneous, doing some crafts, whatever I choose to do. And I feel like it's going to be slow stitching a lot of the time because I just love it so much. So I'm gonna, I don't know, just work in here. Maybe just add some, maybe I'll do stitches like over top of it. I've been doing a lot of sewing, like on the machine. I've been making projects. I have projects. I don't want to spoil anything. Um, but I've been sewing more on the machine, not just hand sewing. And I love it. I love it, and I'm excited about doing more projects. I actually, oh my gosh, I almost forgot. I went through my closet today and cleaned it, which will also be in a video, a spring cleaning video. But I discovered some old, some vintage, but like some just old, as in like from my college days. I don't know, 5 years ago at this point. I don't even know. But I have old fabric basically that I forgot about, and like various textile pieces and things. And I am so excited to start doing projects with them, start bringing them back to life, start giving them like new life. So that's something that I'm just like looking forward to doing overall, is just doing all the projects that I always wanted to do and just would never do, or I just get overwhelmed so easily. But I've been working through it. And because of that, I can be more creative, more productive, and that's wonderful. I feel like this is giving very Jamaican vibes. These colors, is that the right place? Like the right, I don't know. Yeah, like flag color. I don't know. I think it is. I don't know actually. I know nothing. I think no. I think, oh my god, it's reminding me of like Mardi Gras or something. Don't even listen to me at this point. As you can see, I'm kind of like not even trying that hard. I'm really annoyed at the fact that the camera's been shaking the whole time. But like, I don't know what else I can do. All I can say is I'll try harder for the next time. LOL. Alright, I think it's time. I'm gonna hit the road. And by hit the road, I mean stop the live stream. So I believe my mom's home, possibly. So this is what we've gotten. Thank you so much for watching if you did watch at all. I appreciate you a whole lot. And I hope that you enjoyed slow stitching along with me if you did. And yeah, I'll see you in my next video. Peace! I always do it. Okay.